and 67 students को बचा सके फ्लाइट लेना है नहीं क्लिक कर मैं बंद कर दूं उसको हाँ क्या सही है गुड मॉर्निंग कैन यू हियर मी हेलो गुड मॉर्निंग okay fine so last class to in a previous one we had a discussion of acid base balance what we have started just in this class we'll have some cases in the form of examples and how it is maintained that means regulated how the compensatory mechanism plays an important role to maintain the acid base balance so that is our discussion in this class so let's go back to some level and try to understand what we have studied up till now. It's a matter of just 2-3 minutes. Just fast forward. What should be the ratio of base upon acid? Anybody can write in chat box. What should be the ratio of 1 is to 20? Fine, very good. So this is one of the important aspect of it. It should be 1 is to 20. So that means not 1 is to 20, 20 is to 1, base upon acid. Correct it. Okay, fine. So we have excess of bases, correct. The respiratory mechanism, buffer mechanism, and kidney mechanism. So last class we had a discussion of these three mechanism plays important role to maintain acid-base balance. First is a buffer system which try to maintain the blood pH. If it is beyond than the buffer, respiratory system will get activated and respiratory system has their own importance and own limitations what we have a discussion last class which says muscle get fatigue and ultimately the kidney mechanism that means renal system is involved for the maintenance of acid base balance and that's permanent solution. If the kidney is not functioning up to the level then it affects the acid base balance. So that was the discussion and we have a one more important discussion that is regarding uh, acid base balance which is being maintained. This acid base balance can be regulated through the renal system. That is one thing. But if renal system fails, how it's maintained the acid base balance and continuation of that discussion. I'll be starting with this slide today. This what we have studied carbon dioxide, water, HCO3 that dissociate in the form of H and HCO3. This is when acid is added, when lungs plays important role to removal of CO2. What happened when the CO2 were increased? That buffer, or you can say kidney, which plays important role to maintain the blood pH. And this is the definition or this is explanation when Heisenberg's Heisenberg equation which says pH is equal to 6.1 plus log of base upon acid and ultimately we have proved it. Okay, HCO3 is maintained through the kidney mechanism and respiratory mechanism which maintain PCO2 and ultimately kidney versus lung ultimately they try to maintain the blood pH. Okay, so this is a one slide. This is the first slide I mean to say. So this is a graphical presentation of how we can diagnose. This is a line of, this is a line which says buffer line. This is a buffer line, correct? This is another range, this is another range, and this is representing PCO2, partial pressure of carbon dioxide, and this is again carbon dioxide, this is again carbon dioxide. This is around 20, this is around 40, and this is around 80. And this is a range HCO3 that is from 10 to 50 millimoles per liter this is being maintained, and this is a range of pH. So whenever there is a metabolic alkalosis, respiratory alkalosis, just you focus on blue spots, correct? Usually all the data, all the values of pH, PCO2, NHCO3 is falling in this range. But in respiratory alkalosis, all the data will falling in this range. It's the respiratory acidosis, pH, PCO2, NHCO3 is falling in this range. And metabolic acidosis, this is a range which falls in this area. But if the patient is absolutely normal, data will fall somewhere nearby this value. Again, the same way presentation. That is, when the pH is 7.4, your PCO2 is around 40 millimeter of Hg, and that is remaining within the normal range throughout, correct? And if you focus HCO3, which is somewhere around 24, and pH if you focus 7.4. But if the pH is moving towards 7.5, correct? Automatically the HCO3, PCO2, sorry, which is trying to reduce, HCO3 which is trying to reduce, and ultimately the pH will be somewhere around 7.4 depending on the situation. Okay, now let me tell you something about respiratory acidosis. In respiratory acidosis, what happens? The primary changes which takes place, and this is a relation with the CO2. So generally, when there is a respiratory acidosis, retention of CO2 generally caused by respiratory problem. जो पेशेंट में CO2 रिटेन हो रहा है वो पेशेंट जनरली रेस्पिरेटरी एसिडोसिस में जाएगा. It is because of hypoventilation, narcotics, bronchopnea. These are the three conditions which is associated in this situation. If you focus here, graphical presentation, one I put it here. So PCO2 is increased. When there is a patient is respiratory acidosis, the PCO2 is increases. So if you just focus here, this is the PCO2 line, correct? That is 40 millimeter of Hg. That is 40 millimeter of Hg. Now it is moving, which is moving towards 60. If you focus, which try to increase the concentration of PCO2. And here I put it here, retention of CO2. CO2 retain hota jayega, so naturally 40 se बढ़ते बढ़ते it can go up to not 60, but nearing towards the 60. That means PCO2 is retained ho raha hai, so बढ़ गया. pH is reduced. Of course, pH was 7.4. Now it has gone to somewhere around 7.3, 7.35, 7.4, 32, 31, or whatever the value is there. HCO3 will remain unchanged. If you focus here, HCO3, which is almost unchanged, here ये slope को देखो थोड़ा slight increase है, but ये 24 से शायद 25 तक जाएगा, 26 तक तो ऐसे भी normal है, correct? So which remains within the normal range. So these are the primary changes we will expect in the respiratory acidosis. So when the patient is having a respiratory acidosis, what are expected compensation? So in next slide, I have mentioned here compensation. See. So when there is a respiratory acidosis, the compensatory mechanism, तो compensation attempt to restore the pH towards the normal. तो उनका काम वही है कि pH has to go towards the normal range. Now it is an acidosis. Now it has to go to the normal range. तो क्या होगा यहाँ? अब कंडीशन देखो रेस्पिरेटरी एसिडोसिस है, तो रेस्पिरेटरी एसिडोसिस है मतलब रेस्पिरेटरी सिस्टम इज गेट अफेक्टेड, इट इज ऑलरेडी अफेक्टेड, तो CO2 तो बढ़ा ही नहीं, मतलब उसमें कोई चेंज हो ही नहीं सकता है, इट इज ऑलमोस्ट इंक्रीज, तो इंक्रीज ही रहेगा इफ यू फोकस. सो ये एरो को देखिए आप, जस्ट this is 1 and this is 2. 2 means it is a compensatory mechanism is started. So when there is a compensatory mechanism is going on, correct? It is moving in the same direction. Just focus here. यही direction में जा रहा है, आप देखो, है ना? Sorry. यही direction में जा रहा है 2. That means यहाँ देखो, किडनी रिटेन्स बेस दैट इज HCO3. तो कॉम्पेंसेटरी मैकेनिज्म में क्या होगा, HCO3 जो यूरिन में जा रहा है, देयर आर 4 mechanism in the kidney. Correct? Everybody must be aware about it. Anybody can point it out? What are the renal mechanism? There are 4 mechanisms: retention of H plus ion, retention of HCO3, retention of bicarbonate, excretion of H plus ion, excretion of NH4 plus molecule. ये 4 mechanism है और NH4 NH4Cl के फॉर्म में जाएगा. याद है सबको? Anybody can recollect it? So क्या होगा यहाँ? Kidney retains HCO3. PCO2 बढ़ा है, उसको तो हम कुछ नहीं कर सकते. तो renal is involved to maintain alkali. So pH अपने आप धीरे धीरे नॉर्मल की तरफ जाएगा. तो एसिडोसिस की तरफ से नॉर्मल की तरफ जाएगा. PCO2 remains elevated, the pH approaches towards the normal value. तो यहाँ देखो आप, PCO2 is increased था, around 24-25 तक गया था. Now it has gone to even 32. Can go up to 32. Which try to. Everybody can listen. I think there is a problem in between internet connection. I'm audible, please. I'm audible. Okay, fine. I think I got the message that internet having some problem. Okay, fine. Go ahead. So ultimately what happened? HCO3 is increased. Ideally it should be 26-27 तक जाना चाहिए और 25 के आसपास रहना. उसकी जगह it can go up to 32. तो देखा जाए तो acid remain as it is, CO2 remain as it is, बस उसकी against में base बढ़ना चालू हो गया body के अंदर through renal mechanism. So which try to compensate your blood pH. Is it clear now? Is it clear? Okay. Okay, so I'm moving to the next slide. Fine. Any doubt, any query, please raise immediately so we can discuss and rather moving to the next slide. Fine. This is respiratory alkalosis. This is respiratory alkalosis. तो क्या होगा respiratory alkalosis में? pH increase होगा, of course. तो आप जहाँ focus करें, excessive loss of CO2. Respiratory problem है, respiratory acidosis था तो respiratory was retaining acid. यहाँ respiratory alkalosis है तो क्या करेगा वो? Which remove more CO2, generally caused by hyperventilation and salicylate poisoning. ये दो condition में हो सकता है. So अब देखो यहाँ, ideally it should be 40 millimeter of Hg, that is the requirement of PCO2. Now it will increase from 40, sorry, it will be decreasing. Correct? Hyperventilation है. So which moves from 40 to 20, not exactly 20, but towards 20. So it may be 35, 38, 39, whatever you can say, or which is going towards the 20. That means it is decreased. So pH आप देखोगे तो which move towards the 7.5 और 7.5 के आसपास चला जाएगा. So अगर आप देखो प्राइमरी चेंजेस देखोगे ब्लड के अंदर तो PCO2 is reduced, pH is increases, correct? अल्कोसिस है तो डेफिनेटली बढ़ेगा and HCO3 is a normal. HCO3 में कोई चेंज नहीं होगा because this is a metabolic component. A compensation of respiratory alkalosis. If you just focus here, the kidney loss net base. So kidney क्या करेगा? ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा base excrete करना चालू करेगा. पहले वाली स्लाइड में क्या था? They try to retain more HCO3 because hypoventilation था, तो CO2 was retained. So तो वो तो respiratory system cannot maintain, तो वो renal से retain कर रहा था alkali. So that 20:1 का ratio was maintained. Here क्या करेगा? Kidney loss more HCO3 means एसिडोसिस की तरफ, अल्कलोसिस की तरफ जा रहा है. पीएच को भी हमको एसिड बनाना है तो वो अल्कली रिमूव करेगा. सो HCO3 will be getting excreted and excreted. Although the PCO2 remains reduced, वो तो घटा ही रहा है, उसको तो कुछ कर नहीं सकते हम. pH will move towards the normal limit. So if you just focus here, the same direction is moving clockwise. देखो आप, पहली वाली स्लाइड में क्लॉकवाइज आ रहा था, ये भी क्लॉकवाइज ही जा रहा है। सो यहाँ क्या होगा, SCO3 is lower. SCO3 ideally should be 24 के आसपास रहना चाहिए, which moves toward the even 15, 16 or maybe 20, something like that. So which try to maintain the blood pH. Next slide. Metabolic acidosis. This is one of the commonest condition. Generally ज़्यादातर पेशेंट इसी टाइप के आपको मिलते रहेंगे. Metabolic acidosis. यहाँ देखो pH एसिड की तरफ जाएगा, so pH has moved over this side. ये क्या है, मेटाबॉलिक है, तो रेस्पिरेटरी कंपोनेंट विल नॉट अफेक्टेड मच. द मेटाबॉलिक प्रोडक्ट और मेटाबॉलिक सिस्टम इज गेट अफेक्टेड. तो यहाँ PCO2 is unchanged, correct? pH will be reduced and HCO3 is reduced. पहले में क्या था रेस्पिरेटरी में, रेस्पिरेटरी एसिडोसिस में क्या था बेटा? Anybody can write something on it in chat box? Anybody, please? Anybody? Yes, PCO2 was reduced. Fine, very good. तो यहाँ क्या होगा? जनरली PCO2 अनचेंज है, बट यहाँ कम होता है HCO3. So these conditions usually diabetic, heart failure, renal failure and diarrhea में ये ज़्यादातर हो सकता है. Let's move to the next slide. How it is compensated? So compensation of metabolic acidosis. This is being done by the lung excrete more CO2. तो respiratory system is get stimulated. वो नॉर्मल था, वो यहाँ हाइपर वेंटिलेशन करेगा, तो more and more CO2 is get removed. So remove क्या करेगा, it will move even go toward less than 40, it will move towards the 20, which try to, although SCO2 remains reduced, वो तो वहीं का वहीं रहेगा. pH try to approach it toward the normal limit. तो अगर डेटा देखोगे उस पेशेंट का कंडीशन में, ABG रिपोर्ट, so HCO3 will be reduced, pH will be normalized and PCO2 is lower. Now last one, metabolic alkalosis. Metabolic alkalosis में क्या होगा, net loss of H plus, an example because of vomiting. ये कंडीशन है, आप देखो 1 मैंने दिखाया है यहाँ पर्पल कलर से, that is PCO2 is unchanged, pH is increased, HCO3 is reduced, sorry increase. pH is increased, HCO3 is increased, PCO2 is unchanged. Correct? Compensation of metabolic alkalosis. तो क्या होगा? The loss, that means the lung excrete loss. Sorry, कहाँ गया? Yes, 1 minute. Less CO2. तो CO2 retain करना चालू करेगा, hypoventilation करेगा. The HCO3 remains increased and the pH approaches to the normal value. So अगर डेटा देखोगे biochemically, HCO3 तो बढ़ा हुआ है, pH is normalized, PCO2 raised. So respiratory system which try to increase the CO2 within the blood circulation. So this is a graphical presentation on tabular form में मैंने बताया है, आप देख लो, ये अच्छा है. Try to just understand. I'll give you just 30 seconds to write down or think about it. Any query, please put your remarks in the chat box, so we'll discuss it out. Okay, anybody wants to raise any query, so we'll discuss it out. Otherwise, we'll move to the next slide. So classification of this particular acid-base balance disorder, primary change and compensatory mechanism. So पेशेंट का मेटाबॉलिक एसिडोसिस है तो उसमें HCO3 कम होगा, अल्कलोसिस है तो बढ़ जाएगा, रेस्पिरेटरी एसिडोसिस है तो PCO2 इंक्रीज होगा, अल्कलोसिस है तो HCO3 कम होगा. टू कॉम्पेंसेट दैट थिंग, मेटाबॉलिक है दोनों तो रेस्पिरेटरी कंपोनेंट इज इन्वॉल्व. यहाँ रेस्पिरेटरी प्रॉब्लम है तो मेटाबॉलिक कंपोनेंट इज इन्वॉल्व. सो लाइक दैट. Should I move to the next slide? Fine. This is instrument on which we perform the ABG. उसके components हैं. फाइन। जब आप लोग यहाँ आ जाओगे तो हम लोग लैब विजिट करेंगे एंड आई विल शो यू हाउ इट इज बीइंग डन, डेमो करके दिखाएंगे, बट दैट इज अनफॉर्चुनेट कि यू पीपल आर नॉट हियर। सो यहाँ इलेक्ट्रोड है उनके, यहाँ उसका सेंसर मॉड्यूल्स है, वेल्व है, दिस इज अ सेंसर सिस्टम के ऊपर काम करता है। यहाँ एबीजी का सैंपल यहाँ इंट्रोड्यूस करते हैं हम लोग, विच फॉर्म्स द एबीजी रिजल्ट्स। यहाँ से ब्लड सैंपल जाएगा, होल ब्लड अगर जाएगा तो कैसे जाएगा, हिपेरिनाइज ब्लड जाएगा। ऑलमोस्ट यू कैन से लिथियम हिपेरिन वाला जो सिरिंज रेडीमेड आता है उससे से हम आर्टेरियल ब्लड लेते हैं, आर्टरी से लेते हैं, एंड सीधा हम विद इन 30 सेकंड टू 1 मिनट विल गेट द रिजल्ट्स। बहुत फास्ट प्रोसेस है, and waiting period is not more than 30 minutes, otherwise the exchange of the gases will take place in the environment, so you will get a false result. So you are not supposed to wait more than 30 minutes once you collect the blood samples. Immediately it has to be performed. There is some relation between hydrogen ion concentration. So this is a one table. If you want to remember, I mean, if you want to write, you can write down. Otherwise, I can move to the next slide. So when the pH is around 7.4, the H ion concentration should be, it is around or should be around 40. But then when the pH is going towards the acidic side, the H ion concentration increases like this, and alkalosis में कम होता जाएगा. That I put it over. Another idea, I mean, another relation between base excess. A calculation based on concept of how much the total base for the blood sample varies from the normal value. The results can be positive or negative. So base excess generally -2 से +2 base excess के बीच में घूमता रहता है. We'll discuss when you come back. We'll show you the result and you will just. Now one of the important aspect of it, anionic gap. Anybody knows something about what is anionic gap? Have you read anything? Anybody can put some remarks in the chat box. What is anionic gap? Anybody, please. If not, I'll move. Anybody know something about what is anionic gap? Anybody? What is anionic gap? सुनाई दे रहा है ना, मैं आवाज आ रही है ना मेरी? Everybody can listen me? Diffusion of anion. I think this is not the correct answer. What do you mean by diffusion? Anybody can say what is diffusion? Unmeasured ions. Difference between the measured cation and anion. Gap between anion and cation. I think I got a little bit of your concept. Total number of positively charged molecule and negatively charged molecule, दोनों का difference जो आता है, that is considered to be anionic gap. This is known as a anionic gap. Correct? So, अपने major cation ले लो and major anion ले लो. What are the major cations with us? Anybody can say? Major cations. They are sodium, potassium. They are major cations. And anions. Major anion कौन कौन से हैं? Anybody? Chloride and HCO3 minus. This is a major contributing cations and anion with us. Listen carefully. Yes, fine. Most of the people they mention chloride, HCO3, chloride, HCO3. Fine, very good. So these are the major cations. ऐसे भी ionized calcium है, magnesium है, cobalt है, so many other things is there. Correct? But फिर भी ज़्यादातर major cation which is contributing 90% of that particular total blood. उसमें sodium, potassium cation आएंगे and chloride and bicarbonate negative. What is the normal range of sodium generally? And what is the normal range of potassium? Normally sodium is around 98 to 109 मिलीमोल्स पर लीटर कितना है 98 to 109 मिलीमोल्स पर लीटर। पोटेशियम यूजुअली 3.5 से लेके 5.4 तक मिलीमोल्स पर लीटर है। अगर क्लोराइड का कॉन्सेंट्रेशन देखो, सॉरी सोडियम आई पुट इट रॉन्ग हियर, सोडियम इज नॉट लाइक दैट, 135 से लेके 144 तक मिलीमोल्स पर नॉर्मल लिमिट है। क्लोराइड का 109 तक है, दैट मीन्स 98 to 109 मिलीमोल्स पर लीटर है। और HCO3 का कंटेंट कितना है 22 से लेकर 26 मिलीमोल्स पर लीटर है, करेक्ट। So when you calculate the anionic gap of any patient, generally metabolic abnormalities है, कोई patient diabetic है, उसमें anionic gap is very important. So one should know what is anionic gap, क्योंकि we have to maintain the anionic gap of a patient. So sodium का अगर midline ले ले हम लोग, sodium का, so 140 millimoles per liter is a midline, you can say. Potassium का अगर ले लो हम 4 millimoles per liter, so 140, sorry, 140, which is considered to be cation, that is plus ion. माइनस आयन को देखो, क्लोराइड को हम 100 गिन ले फॉर एग्जांपल, एंड HCO3 को हम लोग 24 गिन ले, सो 124 मिलीमोल्स पर लीटर हुआ, दैट इज नेगेटिवली चार्ज मॉलिक्यूल। दिस इज क्लियर टू यू? एवरीबडी इज क्लियर विथ इट अप टिल नाउ व्हाट आई सेड, और शुड आई रिपीट? It is clear? Yes, fine. Most of the students, they said yes. Okay, fine. So I'm moving to the next discussion. So if you total it, 144, that is a cation, 4 millimoles per liter, and 140. So 144 और ये कितना है 124. So 144 minus 124 तो कितना होगा 24 minus 44, so you can say 20 millimoles per liter, 20 millimoles per liter, इतना एनायनिक गैप आया। आप समझ पाए? यस 20, फाइन। सो 20 मिलीमोल्स पर लीटर जो डिफरेंस आया है, विच इज नोन एज एनायनिक गैप। नॉर्मली विद हेल्दी सब्जेक्ट 14 से लेके 18 और मे बी अराउंड 16 से लेके 20 तक मिलीमोल्स पर लीटर का नॉर्मल रेंज होता है जनरली। दिस इज नेगेटिवली चार्ज molecules are there, positive charge molecules are there more in number to maintain the electrical neutrality. Fine. So this is known as anionic gap. अगर कोई patient का anionic gap disturb हो जाता है, that also will affect the pH of the blood. So these are the normal range of each parameter what I put it here. pH is around 7.35 to 7.45. PCO2 is around 35 to 45 millimoles per liter. Partial pressure of oxygen is more than 70 millimeter of Hg. HCO3 should be around 22 to 26 millimoles per liter. Saturation of O2 should be around 93 to 98%, and methemoglobin should be less than 2%. And carbon monoxide, that is COHB, less than 3%, and base excise should be around -2 to +2 milligrams per liter. So this is all about the acid-base balance. Any question regarding this discussion? So please raise, I'll give you just 1 minute and we'll move to the next exercise. So, or can we go straight away to the exercise? We have almost half an hour. Please. Should we move to the next slide? I'm just starting with exercise now. Should I, or any doubts or any queries required to sort it out now? Should I move to the next slide? Anionic gap difference should be repeated. I think so. His 113 number is telling. So please repeat. Okay. So I'll just take 1 more minute and finish it up. So let me go back. What is anionic gap? Anionic gap means there is a difference of positively charged molecule and negatively charged molecule. ये दोनों का हमको difference निकालना है. So the major cation को ले सकते हैं और major anion को ले सकते हैं. सबको लेना हमारे लिए बहुत मुश्किल है. And that contributes around only 1%, 2%. Like for example calcium. Calcium को आप पकड़ोगे तो it contributes only 1%. मैग्नीशियम पकड़ोगे तो इट इज इन पॉइंट्स 0.1 0.2 मिली मतलब परसेंटेज का आएगा कंट्रीब्यूशन. तो यूजुअली एनायनिक गैप के लिए हम ज्यादातर फोकस करते हैं मेजर कैटायंस एंड माइनर और मेजर एनायंस. मेजर कैटायंस दैट इज सोडियम एंड पोटेशियम को लेते हैं और मेजर एनायन को लेते हैं हम लोग क्लोराइड एंड बाइकार्बोनेट. सबकी नॉर्मल रेंज आप जस्ट रिकलेक्ट करो. सपोज फॉर एग्जांपल सोडियम, इफ यू फोकस, सोडियम का नॉर्मल लिमिट है 135 टू 144 मिलीमोल्स पर लीटर और मिली एकम्स पर लीटर, दोनों यूनिट तो सेम रहेंगे. पोटेशियम को पकड़ो तो 3.5 टू 5.4 मिलीमोल्स पर लीटर है रेंज. एनायन को पकड़ो क्लोराइड, सो 98 टू 109 मिलीमोल्स पर लीटर. बाइकार्बोनेट is around 22 to 26 or you can say 20 to 28 मिलीमोल्स पर लीटर. अलग अलग बुक में अलग अलग रेंज दिया है. तो आप सबका मिड लाइन पकड़ो क्योंकि हमको अभी एडिशन या सब्ट्रैक्शन करना है. वेरी सिंपल. सो अगर मैंने सोडियम को कंसीडर किया है 140 मिलीमोल्स पर लीटर एंड मैंने पोटेशियम को अप्रोक्सीमेटली कैलकुलेट किया है, एक पेशेंट का वैल्यू है 4 मिलीमोल्स पर लीटर. तो दोनों का पॉजिटिव चार्ज मॉलिक्यूल कितना होगा 144 मिलीमोल्स पर लीटर. बराबर है. अब नेगेटिव में जाइए. नेगेटिव विल बी अराउंड, क्लोराइड को हम पकड़ते हैं मिड लाइन 100 है कोई पेशेंट का फॉर एग्जांपल और वो पेशेंट का बाइकार्बोनेट है 24 फॉर एग्जांपल. तो ये टोटल वैल्यू कितना हुआ 124 मिलीमोल्स पर लीटर. सो दिस इज नेगेटिवली चार्ज एंड दिस इज द पॉजिटिव चार्ज दैट इज 144. सो 144 minus 124 which comes out to be 20 millimoles per liter. This is anionic gap. Now it is clear. This anionic gap has to be maintained throughout the life. Normally 18 millimoles per liter is a normal limit of any anionic gap, any patient if you focus. I think so. This is clear. This is clear, I think so. Still any doubt is there, you can definitely WhatsApp me and we can have a telephonic discussion if required in future, not now. So, okay, what is mixed acidosis and ankylosing? So mixed acidosis and ankylosing कुछ भी नहीं है, वो compensatory mechanism है. Compensatory mechanism usually ऐसे बोलते हैं हम लोग partially compensation and fully compensation. दो टर्म यूज करते हैं हम लोग ज्यादातर. Partially compensation means, listen carefully. Hello, Rutam. Can you hear me? Okay. So आपने पूछा है मिक्स एसिडोसिस एंड एंक्लोसिस, मतलब एक पेशेंट है वो एसिडोसिस में चला गया है. एसिडोसिस में है तो द पीएच विल ट्राई टू मेंटेन थ्रू रेस्पिरेटरी एंड किडनी मैकेनिज्म इन सच ए वे दैट पीएच विल बी अप्रोचिंग टू द नॉर्मल लिमिट, बट वो 100% नॉर्मल तक नहीं पहुंचा है. एसिडोसिस है तो पीएच कितना होगा फॉर एग्जांपल 7.31 फॉर एग्जांपल. तो 7.31 से 7.4 तक पहुंचा है, आइदर रेस्पिरेटरी है या मेटाबॉलिक है, but completely pH is not approaching, somewhere around 7.35 और 7.4 तक नहीं पहुंचा है. पहुंचने की तरफ जा रहा है, but it is not approach 110% exactly what we want. That means it is a partially compensation, which is known as a partially compensation. Fully compensation means now pH is almost approached to the normal limit, and whatever the changes as far as metabolic or respiratory is there, which is permanently up to reaching to that highest value. That means pH is almost approached to the normal limit. I think so. Rudam, is it clear to you? Better. I think so. Is it clear? Okay. So now I am moving to the next slide. It's very interesting. गलती से मैंने आंसर उसी स्लाइड में लिख दिए हैं. That's unfortunate. But आप अपनी तरफ से थोड़ा दिमाग लगा के आप अपना आंसर सोचिए. I'll give every question के बाद 1 मिनट में दूंगा. You think you can write down in your record book what is the answer and we'll discuss. Okay. So now here goes to the first question. Yes. Now read the question. I'm not reading, just read yourself. A client recovering from surgery in the post anesthesia care unit, PACU, it's difficult to arouse, એટલે ઉઠી નથી શકતો patient, ભાનમાં નથી આવતું. In 2 hours of the surgery, the nurse is in the PACU, જેની જે nurse છે તે has been administering morphine sulfate intravenously to the client. For client, respiratory rate is 7 per minute. Respiratory कम हो रहा है rate. Demonstrate shallow breathing. उसका shallow breathing हो रहा है. The patient does not respond to any stimuli. The nurse access the ABC. That means airways, breathing and circulation को ठीक करने के लिए try किया. And obtain ABG. उसका acid base analysis किया. Stat means immediate किया, तुरंत. And the results what we gave from our laboratory, which comes out to be 7.15. Partial pressure of CO2 is 68, and HCO3, if you focus, it is 22 millimoles per liter or milliequivalents per liter. आप उनका आंसर दीजिए. Your diagnosis should be compensated respiratory acidosis, uncompensated metabolic acidosis, compensated metabolic alkalosis, or uncompensated respiratory alkalosis. Just think about it. Think about it and put your answer over here. I'll give you just 1 minute and just think about it and put your remarks. I think majority of the students are writing the answer. ગમે લગતા નથી ને મન ફાવે. Just think and put your remarks or put your answer over here. Fine. Can we have answer for it? Sure. Can we have answer for it? Answer D. Uncompensated respiratory acidosis. Uncompensated respiratory acidosis. जो तो आपने पूछा था ने, उसका आंसर आया यहाँ. देखो यहाँ, if you focus, pH is 7.15. वो तो बहुत एसिडोसिस की तरफ है. PCO2 is almost 68 milligrams per liter. बहुत इंक्रीज हो गया है. And HCO3, if you focus, it is almost unchanged. तो compensation यहाँ तो हुआ ही नहीं है कुछ. 22 से लेके 26 is a normal limit. इसलिए it is uncompensated respiratory acidosis because respiratory primary changes is 68 milligrams per liter or millimoles per, sorry, millimeter of Hg. So 68 तक PCO2 है. यहाँ लिखा भी है कि shallow breathing है. Respiratory rate was 7. Is it clear? So that indicate this answer. Anybody wants any clarification now, beta? Can we move to the next one? Can we? Or any discussion is still required? Please. Can we move to the next one? Correct? Fine. Chalo, thank you. Read carefully. Read carefully. Infant, 3 weeks old, admitted in the emergency room. The mother reports और कहना था कि बहुत irritable है, difficult to breastfeed है. Correct? 4 दिन से ये प्रॉब्लम चल रहे. The infant respiratory rate is elevated. Frontals are shrunken. આગળનું forehead છે shrunken થઈ ગયું છે. બરાબર છે. Emergency room માં physician orders ABG. Correct? After assessing the fundamentals of airways, breathing and this thing, ABCs. And the results from ABG का आया laboratory से, वो आया कितना? pH is 7.37. PCO2 is 29 millimeter of Hg. And HCO3 कितना आया? Which comes out to be 17 milligrams per liter. 17 milligrams per liter आया. So if you focus here, pH is 7.37. So definitely it is normal, correct? Ideally it should be 7.35 to 7.45 or 7.44 is the exact midline of it. So almost near to the normal limit है. PCO2 if you focus, ideally कितना होना चाहिए? प्राइमरी चेंजेस नहीं है तो 40 मिलीमीटर ऑफ Hg होना चाहिए. ये 29 हो गया, ये 29 हुआ और HCO3 शुड बी अराउंड कितना होना चाहिए? व्हाट इज द नॉर्मल लिमिट ऑफ HCO3? 22 से लेके 26 तक होना चाहिए, करेक्ट? 1 minute, I think some people write something over here. Let me see what is this. हाँ, 22 से लेके 26 होना चाहिए, बट ये कितना है? कम है. सो इट हैज स्टार्टेड कॉम्पेंसेटरी मैकेनिज्म. इतना तो पता चल गया आपको, करेक्ट? अभी बताओ आंसर क्या है बेटा. नाउ राइट योर आंसर्स प्लीज. कॉम्पेंसेशन है, करेक्ट? इतना तो पता चल गया आपको. फाइन, ओके. शुड आई डिस्प्ले द आंसर? C, compensated metabolic acidosis, correct? Patient का pH was moved to the acidic side, correct? Slightly towards the acidic side, और वो respiratory system PCO bicarbonate 17 है और respiratory system compensate कर रहा है. So you can say compensated metabolic acidosis. Is it clear to everybody? Can we move to the next one? Can we move to the next one? Okay, fine. Up till now it's clear, correct? Third question. Read carefully. 5 days post abdominal surgery का patient है. The nurse note that the nasogastric tube NGI is draining a large amount of 900 ml of in 2 hours में 900 ml जितना फ्लूइड निकल गया, बराबर है. फिर उसका एबीजी करवाया गया फिजिशियन की तरफ से. पीएच वाज 7.52, PCO2 was 35 millimeter of Hg and HCO3 was 29 milligrams per liter. आप बता सकते हो क्या है ये? I think most of the people they wrote answer here. Let me see what is it. D. Fine. It is self-explanatory. તમને જાતે ખબર પડી શકે એવું જ છે. Is it clear? Can we move to the next one? HCO3 ऑलमोस्ट नॉर्मल है, बड़ा नहीं है, करेक्ट? आंसर इज सी, अनकॉम्पेंसेटेड रेस्पिरेटरी अल्कोसिस. ये कॉम्पेंसेशन कहीं भी नहीं हुआ है, वही का वही है. pH is 7.57, PCO2 26 मिलीग्राम पर लीटर है. ये दोनों वही का वही है. ऑलमोस्ट नथिंग इज कॉम्पेंसेटेड. सो अनकॉम्पेंसेटेड रेस्पिरेटरी अल्कोसिस. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन पढ़ो, रीड योरसेल्फ. अस्थमा का पेशेंट है, RDS है, father of infant, reports that nurse that he had observed slight tremors and behavior changes in his child over 3 days. Attending physician orders routinely ABG किया गया. In ABG के results आने के बाद पता चला pH is 7.36, PCO2 is 69, that is 70 almost you can say, and HCO3 which comes out to be 36 milligrams per liter. What would be the answer? What would be the answer? Please write your answer. अपने record book में भी लिख के रख सकते हो for your understanding. Is it C? Everybody is agreeing with the C, I think so. Can I have an answer? C. Uncompensated respiratory alkalosis. Simple है, बहुत simple है. ठीक है. Young woman drinking beer at a party falls and hits her head on the ground. 108 बुलाएगा because the young woman is depressed. Ventilation हो गया, shallow and slow breathing हो गया उसका. In short, rapid heart rate बढ़ गया, profusely bleeding from both the ear, with primary acid base balance किया गया of this thing, and medical attention was provided, not provided, sorry. So ये क्या है? Metabolic acidosis है, metabolic alkalosis है, respiratory acidosis है, क्या respiratory alkalosis है? What is your answer? What would be the answer? Almost most of the students wrote C. Can I have a look on it? Fine. You develop the confidence now after seeing this kind of history. Did you develop the confidence? Anybody can write something on it. Yes, yes, yes. Rutam, you got the confidence now, I think so. Yes, yes, fine. Your doubts is clear now, I think so. So I'm moving to the next slide. ग्यारह साल का लड़का है, हॉस्पिटलाइज किया, वॉमिटिंग, नोशिया, ओवरऑल वीकनेस. Nurse noted the laboratory result, potassium which comes out to be 2.9 milligrams per liter, which primary acid base imbalance is this boy at the risk of medical attention is not provided. अगर उसको attention नहीं देंगे तो क्या हो सकता है patient को? Please put your remarks in the chat box. I think Nirali is asking something. Repeat. What I wanted to repeat, you want to say? What should I repeat? You said something to be repeated? Nirali. Question you want to say again? Why answer C? Okay, fine. In a previous slide, ne? Yes. Answer is respiratory acidosis. Respiratory acidosis क्यों है? अगर आप pH देखो उसका, shallow and slow respiration हो रहा है, तो respiratory is a problem. रेट कम हो तो PCO2 क्लियर नहीं हो रहा है बॉडी में से, तो रेस्पिरेटरी एसिडोसिस ही होगा ना, शैलो ब्रीदिंग है. Okay, fine. This is the next question. What is answer? I think anybody wrote this answer for this question? Okay, okay, fine. B, everybody says. Let me have answer for it. Fine. Metabolic alkalosis. Hope this would be the last question. An elderly gentleman is seen in the emergency department at a community hospital. Aspirin बहुत सा salicylic tablet ले लिया है 24 पीरियड से अंदर because of a severe headache था उसके लिए. Complaints of an inability to urinate. Correct? सुसु कम हो गया है. This vital signs are temperature is this much, pulse is this much, respiration is around 30 and deep respiratory rate increase हुआ है and depth बढ़ गया है. Which primary acid base balance is the gentleman at a risk for medical attention not provided? What should be the answer? I think many people they wrote answer here. Let me see. Most of the students they wrote D D D D D D D D. Fine. Correct? Can we have an answer for it? A. Metabolic acidosis. Salicylate poisoning हो गया है पेशेंट को, एस्पिरिन लिया है और यहाँ यूरिनेट लिखा है ना, इनएबिलिटी टू यूरिनेट, तो यूरिन में से एसिड जा ही नहीं रहा है. करेक्ट? अनेबल टू यूरिनेट मतलब जो मैक्सिमम एसिड विच इज गेटिंग क्लियर फ्रॉम द रीनल सिस्टम इज नॉट पॉसिबल एट ऑल बिकॉज ऑफ यूरिन नहीं हो रहा. सो दे आर रिटेनिंग मोर एंड मोर H प्लस आयन. करेक्ट? रेस्पिरेटरी रेट इतना ज्यादा भी नहीं बढ़ा है, थोड़ा बड़ा है बट इतना नहीं. वो कॉम्पेंसेशन थोड़ा थोड़ा कुछ चालू करने के लिए ट्राई कर रहा है बट इट इज नॉट. करेक्ट? सो दिस इज आंसर. Should I move to the next one? Can I move to the next one? Okay, fine. So next is ऑटोमोबाइल एक्सीडेंट के पास मतलब एक्सीडेंट हुआ है, इमोशनल डिस्ट्रेस. ही टेल्स द पैरामेडिकल्स दैट वो डिजीनेस है, टिंगलिंग है फिंगर टिप के ऊपर, बराबर है. डज नॉट रिमेम्बर व्हाट हैपेंड टू हिज कार. उसको क्या हुआ वो भी पता नहीं चलता है. रेस्पिरेटरी रेट इज रैपिड, बहुत फास्ट है, 34 पर मिनट है. कौन सा प्राइमरी एसिड बैलेंस disturbance is high in this case, sorry. Can you tell this thing? And people are writing C, some of the people they say D. क्लियर हो रहा है ना बेटा फंडा? कोई डाउट है तो पूछते रहना. Answer is D, respiratory alkalosis. Correct? Can we stop or can we have one more question if required? ठीक है, इतने questions है अभी तो मेरे पास, सॉरी इसके बाद नहीं है अभी. So these are the discussion I wanted to complete today. That is the end of acid base balance. कोई भी डाउट है तो आप 1 मिनट के लिए अंदर कुछ भी क्वेरी है आप डाल दीजिए. विल ट्राई टू फिनिश द. अच्छा, एक्सप्लेन करूँ लास्ट को. फाइन. रेस्पिरेटरी अल्कलोसिस देखो यहाँ, रेस्पिरेटरी रेट इज रैपिड 34 है. आइडियली रेस्पिरेटरी रेट बहुत बड़ा नहीं है, थोड़ा ही बड़ा है, दैट इज ट्रू. और यहाँ देखो हेड इंजरी हो गया है, सो दैट डिप्रेसेस द रेस्पिरेटरी सेंटर. सो वो पेशेंट जनरली अगर अटेंशन नहीं दोगे तो हाइपोवेंटिलेशन में जाएगा. करेक्ट? ग्रेजुअली. तो एसिड रिटेंशन होने के चांसेस यहाँ है, इसलिए रेस्पिरेटरी अल्कलोसिस हो सकते हैं. इज इट क्लियर? इज इट क्लियर? इज इट क्लियर? So अगर और कुछ डाउट है तो we'll discuss personally on telephone if at all required. So now just put your attendance over here, please.